Bra weep grana weep ninny-bong YouTube. It's your boy Megabot Z. Coaster review. Red, white, and blue streak. Yeah, that's my name. Red, white, and blue streak here with my first Transformers figure review. Yeah, that ain't gonna do. Ba weep grana weep ninny-bong YouTube. Red, white, and blue streak here to celebrate my 1-year anniversary of actively posting videos on this channel. Well, after a year has passed, how on brand of me. I thought to celebrate this belated occasion, there would be no better way than to revisit the first figure I ever reviewed, that being Newage H27 David. And there's a bit more of a reason for me to do this than just simply taking a trip down memory lane. For one, this isn't the same David we've come to love and rank second to Light of Victory. This isn't any of the numerous repaints of David either, and believe me, there are a lot. No, this version of David is the new 2023 edition Newage released with a couple new accessories and some additions to the articulation. Things that make enough of an improvement for me to want to do a full-on review. Well, before I've reviewed the Studio Series Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime, which I've had for months now. I know I'll get to it eventually. And I know no one's really rushing me to do that, that's more me rushing myself to do it, but still, I feel the point has to be made, it has to be mentioned. Besides that, I just kind of want to see how far I've come as a reviewer. Back then when I made that first video, it's pretty obvious that I was borrowing some things from other videos and other reviewers that I'm very inspired by. And while, yes, I am still very inspired by those same reviewers, and you might see some commonalities between me and them, I feel I've gone a long way into coming into my own with my own kind of style for these kind of reviews. And I feel that's in big part because of you guys, because of the different comments and feedback that you guys have given me over the course of this past year that have helped to improve my videos so much. So, in a way, this is kind of a thank you letter to you guys. A kind of weird, belated way for me to say thank you while also celebrating the 100 subscribers that I've gotten on this channel in less than a year, which once again, thank you for that. It's still surreal whenever I see the number next to my account name. So, happy belated anniversary to this channel, and thank you. I hope I can continue to make you proud. Also, I didn't have lights then. I have lights now, and I kind of want to flex on my past self. The packaging for David is identical to his original version. No indicators of any of the changes or anything to show that this is the 2023 version until you crack them open, which is something to keep in mind if you're searching for this guy on the aftermarket. For all the flack I give, you can at least tell which version of the figure you're getting the second you look at him through the plastic window. There's no such luxury here. The only way you'll know which version that you get is either by transforming him or looking at the accessories you get. But that comes later. For now, we'll take a look at the Freightliner FL86 truck mode here looks the same as ever. That is to say, perfectly cartoon accurate for whatever that loose sentiment is worth. Since starting to review figures on this channel, we've taken a look at quite a few Optimus Prime truck modes here. And I gotta say, after taking a look at this figure again, I think I like this one the best. The colors are just right. The truck bed is the most clean out of any of the figures we've looked at. The trailer has the most secure connection I've ever seen on any Prime figure, or any Transformers figure for that matter. He has the best accessory storage. He rolls the best out of all of them. He looks the best with other alt modes in my opinion. Let's not acknowledge how Ironhide looks next to him. Okay, thanks. And that white Autobot sticker makes a world of difference compared to the red one I had on the other figure. Truly a mini masterpiece with a masterful transformation at a legend scale. Yeah, that transformation is about as fluid as I remember. Though, contrary to that, some of the joints on my copy of the 2023 version are a bit tighter than any other Newage figure I've owned, and tighter than the original release, and I can't tell if that's something common with the 2023 version due to possible changes with the mold, or just me drawing the short straw again. Either way, it's not too big of an issue. I'd rather the joints are tighter than looser anyways. Unfortunately though, it seems the tight joints give way to emphasizing an existing criticism of the mold that I have, at least when it comes to my copy. The double chest seems to be a bit more noticeable than with the original version, and I think that may be because of how tight the slider for the grill section seems to be on this reissue, or at least my copy of the reissue. Once again, I don't know if it's a widespread issue, there doesn't really seem to be a lot of coverage on this edition of the figure. It really makes that silver paint on the vehicle mode bumper pop in a rather unwelcome way. Oh well, might just fork over the money for the upgrade kit. Speaking of paint, the finish on the 2023 version of David seems to be a bit more matte than glossy to me. At least in person. I know it probably doesn't show up too well on the camera. Besides that, the robot mode looks as strapping as ever, and my god does he ever look great next to other figures. Having these two pairs of legend scale leaders here, I gotta admit, while I think Light of Victory is the better looking figure individually, Newage's pairing just looks right to me. Especially after giving Prime a slight makeover here. Alright, let's talk accessories. He comes with everything he's had before. The Ion Blaster, Energon Axe, pointing hands, hinged open hands pre-assembled out of the box, magic square, and fists that actually come attached to the arms out of the box. Good job, Newage! And if you want to consider him an accessory since you can't help but objectify living things, Roller's also present with his good old pal, the anti-aircraft gun. Looking great as ever. What? No, I expected it. I'm learning. What the hell, for old time's sake. Good lord! Besides that, he has a couple of the latest and greatest retro-themed styling suitable for a G1 Prime, with heads based on his appearances in the Transformers the movie and Season 1 of the original cartoon. Both of these, like Ymir's leg fillers, are more than welcome but absolutely unnecessary additions that, now that I have them, I couldn't possibly be without. Though it would be nice if they would have given us a battle-damaged head too. At least one that matches their Corpse Convoy figure. But then again, the same could be said for... I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name and you know it. Look, here's the name. Say it. Do it. Flawlessly. First try. No cheating. In any case, the heads look fantastic, and I'll probably be sticking with the MP44 movie head sculpt from here on. Now, articulation was another improvement that I mentioned for this figure, and let me tell you, those bicep cuts aren't just for show, you know? There's a ball joint at the head allowing for the full range of motion. He can look up all the way, and down a little bit, but if you use the transformation joint, he can look down a little bit farther. Arm can move out all the way, and all the way around, of course. There's a bicep swivel, a beautiful double jointed elbow bend, rotation at the wrist, and a hinge joint at the open hand, which allows him to be fabulous. Rotation at the waist, an ab crunch, and another secondary ab crunch at the waist. Legs can spread out all the way. If you move the hip skirt forward, you can kick forward all the way. If you move the hip skirt back, you can kick back all the way, though you may need to finagle the hip skirt a little bit. There's a rotation at the thigh, a double jointed bend at the knee, and the knee pad even moves out of the way when you bend it, just like on MP44. Limited rotation at the foot, but that's expected with the transformation. There's a hinge forward and back, and an amazing pivot to close out the articulation. Though all they added was a reverse butterfly joint and a double jointed elbow, these minor changes make a world of difference when going to pose the figure. Plus, after feedback on the original figure, they opted to get rid of the sideways biceps bend from Octavian since this figure doesn't have a Magnus mode, which makes it easier to pose this figure, believe it or not. And in all honesty, I think after these additions, I might prefer the articulation on David compared to Light of Victory. I know, crazy, right? All in all, I still really love this little guy, and if anything, the unforeseen additions just make me love him even more. If you missed out on the original run of this figure and need one for your Newage or Legends collection, go ahead and treat yourself if you can. The improvements made to this version make your wait well worth it. If you already have the original run of this figure, I'd maybe sell the original version and get an upgrade here. Though I guess that depends on how much you like the additions of more heads or double jointed elbows, as well as whether or not you liked the sideways bicep bend. Now, I never gave this figure a rating in my original review, but if I did back then, he'd probably be a 3.5 out of 5. But with these additions, I think he's made the jump to a 4.5 out of 5. All of the minor tweakable critiques I had with the original figure have been addressed and then some. The accessories, while unnecessary, do a great deal to increase the value of this set for me. The only thing that keeps me from giving the little guy the big thumbs up from Poppy is the accentuated double chest. It's not something that could be fixed entirely without an upgrade kit or making a whole new mold, but it's a bit of a shame nonetheless. But regardless, this is still a figure I fully recommend for the cultured and uncultured Prime fan. And hey, if they keep churning out new versions of this figure every couple years or so, I'll be coming right back to revisit him. Just want to take the opportunity with this outro here to once again thank you guys so much for 100 subscribers. I know I mentioned it in one of my previous videos, but I can't thank you guys enough. And once again, I want to thank a lot of you who have been around for the entire year of this channel, and I want to thank any of you who are new here that are sticking with me. I hope to continue to entertain you guys in the future, and I hope to continue to, well, you know, make you laugh and inform you and all that good stuff as these reviews keep coming out. But with that being said, this has been Red, White, and Bluestreak, and I'll catch you in the next one. Does that count as me doing a stereotypical YouTuber outro? Ugh.